These all are the best new game Android and iOS 2025 that you all need to play or at least to know if the game exists. The main reason is the game has a very good gameplay and graphic, and even each of the game will give you a different game experience with a new idea and new innovation with a variety mechanism. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of Top 10 New Game Mobile 2025 with amazing graphic you must play now. Game of Thrones King's Road. Finally, the game released globally but only can be accessed in a certain country like in the US. This game is absolutely one of the most fair and balanced game on mobile because we don't have to gacha to get any specific goods. The developer will represent a story-driven base game with a nice animation visual, cutscenes, and also voiceover when we follow the main story. The gameplay is purely open world without needing to see any loading screen, making the game need a high endpoint to run it smoothly, because the rendering system will work harder. But surely you can adjust the graphic setting based on your phone's specification. Game of Thrones King's Road is a new brand hack and slash game with a realistic gameplay visual. The main hero will hold two weapons such as sword and also bow for a long range and close combat, so adjusting your fighting style as you like to confront the enemy from a different distance. The combat speed is quite slow, but it's really good to make a realistic experience, make it easier to anticipate the incoming attack. I love how good the medieval vibes look, well done. Surely it's one of the best new game action RPG open world on mobile 2025. Darkest Days. This is a new brand role-playing game in a single player and has a survival base. It's pretty easy to see if the game has an inspiration from Resident Evil. The main gameplay is quite similar, where we control one hero and keep following the main mission in an open world. Will come with an ally as a support. He will do an auto attack and explain about the game situation and show us the direction about where we should go. It's a good way to face a bunch of zombies because their number mostly come with aggressive behavior. The game is set in an apocalypse world where the zombies dominate almost the entire area. Every spot that we would like to explore will be guarded by the zombie. Always keep your concentration and turn on the volume to listen the zombies' position because they all will force in sudden. The game's control is absolutely perfect. Aiming into the target is quite easy to do. The aim assist helps the player to lock a certain target from a distance by using a gun as the primary weapon. I am sure it will not get lost because the subtitle is pretty clear to explain the next destination. Chars and Crown. This is a new strategy war game but comes with so many combinations of the game's genre such as action, hack and slash, and also real-time strategy base. I can't imagine how possible the developer blend these two different gameplay at once. Surprisingly, the result absolutely impressed me. So the main goal is to build up our main base of the empire and upgrade every single building to strengthen the main hero as well as the army behind of our hero. This is the best strategy to prevent the incoming attack from the enemy. That means as a player we are able to control and navigate the army to force and win the battle. Each of the heroes will have a different play role that we should understand. Long range with a bow, short range by a sword, and also attacking the enemy while riding a horse is possible. Honestly, the games are really newbie friendly. Even if this is the first time you play the action game, I am sure you will be able to learn it faster. It's because the auto attack and also the auto aim assist is the main mode in navigation control. You only need to come closer and let the hero do an auto attack. Kill the objective target to clear the mission. Chars and Crown is the best 3D realistic game RPG and RTS on Android 2025. Lineage 2M. Finally, this game released globally after waiting for more than a few years. It's crazy how the developer keep making the player wait for it. But honestly, the hype is not as big as it was. The developer should understand how the hype will make the momentum of a game become a really crucial aspect to make the game long last. This is the new sequel of the Lineage game series with a lot of improvement from the graphic visual if we compare with the previous version. It's kind of a casual game where the player can play it without any huge effort because the auto features is play crucial along the game. The pathfinding, hunt the monster, do a fight against the world boss, and even we can move into a certain quest location in a flash by a teleportation by tapping a single click. It has a pure open world game where we can move from one area into another area without seeing any loading screen, with a realistic visual in 3D design making a player play it on a different platforms, which is on Android, PC and iOS. The game has optimized perfectly on mobile but needs a mid to high end phone to run the game smoothly. There is an option to do an auto adjust graphic when your phone can't handle it anymore, which is pretty good idea. Once Human. This is the most realistic new game open world on mobile, even I can say it has the same level as the PC version. I never wonder if the game has reached this level. It's just like a dream come true. The gameplay is adventure based, but also it has a combination of a sandbox gameplay where we can create our creativity through making our own building, craft different tools, weapons, armor, and get some resources around us. The game will have a dark fantasy theme where the anomaly monster will appear with a very unique form and a huge size as a boss, hold 2 different main weapons of sword knife and also a bow to hit the enemy from a different distance. I noticed the enemy seems pretty aggressive, so we always try to manage the combat directions based on the weapon we are using. Always focus on the life indicator to keep your main hero alive and don't get exhausted. Along the journey, the animals will show up and most of them have an instinct to run when they are in danger. This action feels so realistic to me, so we need to shot them from a further distance to make our presence become unnoticed. Once Human is the best high-graphic RPG open world for Android, iOS, and PC. Garena Delta Force. When this game comes to mobile and suddenly it breaks the mobile market. Seriously, the game is really good in gameplay and has a high quality visual. PC players should try it on mobile devices because it doesn't have any difference at all. I love how it has a very unique features, which is world war in a huge scale war. It's more than 10 players to compete between 2 different teams, and we should take their territory to win the battle. Seriously, it's a hardcore game. You need a high level shooter game to win the war. I realize how the opening level is way too strong and their aim is on point even from a further distance. Honestly, it's not a newbie friendly at all. It needs a high level to compete in the ranked league. There are so many battlefield areas so we can select with a different character's landscape contour. Try to hide behind the object to prevent a sudden shooting. Once you get hit, then you need some help to revive, and we can't do it multiple times because we will die then. Aurora, a playful journey. I don't know exactly how many times the developer launched the game on Play Store, and it seems they do it inconsistently. From one beta to another beta, and even when the game releases in a certain country, I see a huge difference. The developers should have a right blueprint to decide their main gameplay. Okay, let's get back into the gameplay. It has a very good open world game with a nice bright color of the ambience and green landscape panorama. The features it has is like a trade system and duel, making the player can make a microtransaction to increase the hero's strength by an individual trade action. Of course, at the end, try to measure your power by inviting your friends into a duel. Build your own base and get the material easier around us. It's not a pay-to-win game because the resources are way too easy to find and we can collect it faster by the tools that we have been prepared since we started the game. Ride your mount, explore the open world and get into a dungeon to reach a higher level. Odin Falhala Rising. I'm still playing this game until now. It's because of some reason that I will give you the highlight. If you are a player who's loving a game that can play by itself, which I mean a hardcore grinding, then this game is the best for you while you are doing other activities. Even when you are doing an AFK, you are able to turn off the game and let the hero do an auto grinding. This is a really good way to get some material and also increase the EXP. Odin Falhala Rising is the most played MMORPG on Android, iOS, and PC. As you can see through this video, there are so many players participating while fighting against the world boss or when we visit the village. It's up to you to play the game as a free-to-play player or a VIP player, but we need to change with the time to keep online for 24 hours. The graphics are the main point why I keep playing it. It feels like I play a PC MMORPG on my phone. It's really playable on mid-range pool level as well. The trade post system is running perfectly to reach a wider player in a microtransaction base. This is the best realistic open world MMORPG cross-platform games. Aeria Restored. This game is really good, seriously one of the best new game anime that has a very interesting graphic, visual and gameplay. While exploring the world, we can do some action like teleporting on a certain object and moving ourselves in a flash. It's kind of a semi-open world base, but each of the stages will have a wide area to explore. The developer let the player enjoy this storyline through so much dialogue before we enter the combat. Even we can pick a different answer to represent a different conversation that affect the storyline. The combat mechanism absolutely impressed me, especially if the hero reacts to a different action skill that we would like to select. The skill showcase will give a different detailed visual, especially the ultimate one. Overall, I feel like the developer gets some ideas from Honkey's tutorial by the gameplay. Surely, it's a great alternative RPG turn-based for you when the game releases globally. It's been doing multiple testing and I see a huge optimization. Way of Hunter Wild America. This game is absolutely impressive as a new offline game. Look at how big the game size needs to download the whole game. It will reach 5GB in total. Of course, you know what power level you should have to run the game. Even the highest chipset of Snapdragon Elite can't handle it on the highest setting. Surely, it's a huge work by the developer to update the game and adjust the game into mobile devices. The gameplay is quite unique. It will give you a realistic experience of a simulation games. We'll become a hunter to hunt the animals. We should understand the characteristic of each animal because they will have a certain way to run. There are two important indicators to make the shooting chance become bigger, which are distance and how we are approaching them. Those aspects are the main key to winning. Adjusting your breath to stay steady is also important, even if we need to understand how fast and strong the wind is against the distance that we need to be anticipated through mathematics. Well done, Dev. Bonus Black Beacon. This game is the newest action hack-and-slash game RPG on mobile with an anime art style. The gameplay is absolutely interesting because it has a fast-paced combat and we are able to switch the hero. But we need to prepare which hero we should place in the formation setting before we start the combat. But it's kind of a dungeon-based game and not an open world. I love how we will have our male characters as our team. These all are the best new game high graphic you should play now, with a high visualization and very attractive gameplay, and some new innovation that come into the game's mechanism is perfectly blended. Remember to like this video and see you on the next content. Thanks.